Hello, Jane Storm here. It's Wednesday, November 20th. Wow. It's been a month. It's 20 days in, almost the end of the year. I just heard the greatest word. It's been a long time since I heard it. I was on a call with a wonderful woman, Eileen from Scotland, and her name is Eileen Boyle. And she used the word audacious. My mom used to use that word, audacious, taking bold risks. She said to me, "You sound like someone that may be audacious." How cool is that? How cool is that? I like to be known as audacious. It fits in with hope, holding on to positive energy. When we are audacious, we feel good. So it's very, very cool. And here is my Priya.
Hi,
Hello.
Jane.
I was just saying that I got off the phone with Eileen Boyle from Scotland, and she used the word audacious. And that is to means to take bold risks. And she said, "You sound like someone that is audacious." And I loved
Wow.
that. I loved that.
Yeah, that is a
You know,
that is a powerful compliment, right?
yes, it's very, very cool. And she's audacious. And it's so cool that we met through LinkedIn, and here we are on the other ends of the world talking about what's missing in the world, which is community. People are desperate for community, people are desperate for hope, and people are desperate for teams to support them to move forward. And it was a cool conversation. You don't know where they're going to go. I went in very curious and came out feeling like I met a connection that I'll stay in touch with. So it was very, very cool.
It is so awesome to hear about your last meeting, Jane. So yeah, like you said, the power of community. Like everybody have two things in their life. That is, one is personal and other is professional. By
Yeah.
joining the community, right, Eileen, um, m- uh, connected to you on Zoom
Yep.
through professional something, right?
Yeah.
Through the professional background, but the
Yeah.
connection you had was personal,
And
right?
and that because people are people, right? It goes back to what we've said that everybody wants to be seen, heard, understood, and valued.
Absolutely, Jane. I love that. Seen, heard, and valued,
Yeah. And
and understood.
yes, it's so important. I wanted to share with you one of your strengths today. So your number one strength for Clifton Strengths is relator. And when we think of
Okay.
relator, people exceptionally talented in the relator theme enjoy close relationships with others. They find deep satisfaction in working hard with friends to achieve a goal. So when you hear these words, what ones stick out for you? Friendly, caring, authentic, genuine, intimate, and transparent.
Genuine. That stands out
Genuine.
to me the best.
Yeah. And so when
So
you think about that,
with genuine, the transparent comes along,
Mhm.
I think,
Yeah.
right? And authentic.
Yeah. So and it's interesting because when I look at this, it says you are genuine and authentic. You will
Okay.
get to know more about the people closest to you. You
Hmm.
bring transparency. You need time for one on one interactions. You
Absolutely.
love close, caring, mutual relationships. You hate the initial social discomfort of meeting someone new. Uh,
Absolutely, because you cannot come closer at the first meeting, right? Like you say, you cannot kiss at the first meeting, right?
Yes, yes, it's the same thing. Your metaphor is knowing and being known by friends. Um, you invite your friends in, and you want to get to know more about the people that you already know. So,
By for a deep connection with them.
yeah, I work with a bunch of relators and I'm a woo, right? So the difference is that I walk into a room and I want to just get to know more people and I'm excited about that.
Right,
And
right.
so um, there's a conference coming up that I'm going with a relator to. And she said, I need
Okay.
you there. Your woo
So
helps my
nice.
relator get taken out of, out of the box. So, and then what I find is that my communication, and both you and I have communication as number two. So we look for the commonalities through verbal interaction, through questions, through
Yes.
comments, through listening, all of
Sharing the
those types of
stories, listening.
sharing
Yes.
stories.
Yes.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, when you think of relator, how do you think your close connections shape how you have hope?
Can you please elaborate the question to me?
So, so people in your life, so the people that you relate to,
Yes.
how do they shape your impression of hope, holding on to positive energy?
Okay. So, because I am a relator, I understand, I know that it's about mutual connection. When you are related to
Mm,
somebody, it's about mutual connection.
yeah.
But the understanding capacity, I think I have a good understanding capacity.
Mhm.
Because of that, I expect less from people. I expect
Mm,
less. When you expect less,
mm.
you hope more.
It's interesting. Very interesting. I love that.
So
Yeah.
if you expect less, you hope more, and you hope more from yourself. Expect
Mm,
less from people, hope more from yourself. That has helps me a lot, Jane.
yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. And it's interesting because one of your strengths is restorative. And so when you look at restorative, that
Yes,
is
Jane.
looking back in time. So restorative is you're adept at dealing with problems. You're good at figuring out is what is wrong and restoring
Yes,
it.
yes,
You
yes.
are strong. You have a solution oriented mindset. So you want to figure out how to get through the problems. You're a fixer, right? So the words that are here are driven, investigative, uh, responsive, unintimidated, insightful, and problem oriented. What words stick out there for you?
Uh, the word that sticks out to me for being it is driven.
Restorative, driven,
Yeah,
driven.
for
Yeah,
restorative strength, driven. So
wow.
what happens? I'll give you an example of driven mindset,
Yeah.
restorative. When it comes to restorative, it's like you started from zero, right? You
Yep.
went till 10 of your success, and then again you went to zero or
Mm,
less.
yeah.
Now it's your restorative strength that you're going to
Mm,
move to the 10 again,
yeah.
right? So one of the things that helped me to towards this strength is so I'll give you an example. If I'm stressful about something, so initially the thoughts, the mindset are not going to help unless you make a decision.
Hmm.
So I put an emphasis on making a decision rather than keeping on thinking about it. I have
Mm,
trained my mindset in such a way that if I need 10 days. If I need 10 days, okay, I'm not able right now to make a decision. So I'll
Mhm.
train my mind, please give me 10 days. I'll
Wow.
figure it out. No stress. I'll think about it. I'll think about what I can do. I'll think about what cannot be done as well, because it's not
Mhm.
always that you can restore. Sometimes you have to understand that it cannot happen, right?
Right.
So, happen and not happen. It's just about accepting. And
Yes.
then I restore my mind towards the same thing, positive.
I love that. Acceptance. It's interesting. That's such a big word, right? Because when we have to, there are going to be things in life that we have a hard time accepting. And so when you're driven and you give yourself that time,
Yes.
that I like that. I like that it takes you back to, okay, I've given myself a time frame to then be able to move forward and then work on the next thing. It's
Yes,
great.
Jane. Jane, I feel absolutely great that you came up with this idea and sharing my strengths. The conversation that you just did with me, the first strength, second strength, I know my top five strengths, right?
Right.
Meeting with you, knowing about my strengths, understanding my strengths from you has helped me use my. So whenever I am into a situation, um, in a challenging situation, I
Hmm.
remember my first strength, top five strengths, right?
Yes.
And this is the magic behind knowing your strengths, because now you know what you are great at and you
Yeah.
should focus on that. And the most happening thing about knowing your Clifton strengths is that we did not even mention the word weakness,
Yeah.
right? If you're only focused on your strength, you are going to do the best for yourself.
Yeah.
Weakness pulls you down. I understand there are some things when you have to overcome, when you have to recover, when you have to become strong.
Yep.
That is another thing. But Clifton strengths, when you know what you are great and you know how to use them, they become the tools while you're in a meeting in a boardroom, while
Yes.
you are coaching someone, right? And
Hmm.
even this is so basic. When I as an individual did not know about Clifton strengths, I did not know about my strengths at
Hmm.
all.
Yeah.
The words relator, the words communicator, they were so new to me at the first time. Oh, I did not know I'm a relator. Then
Yes.
when I resonate with it, I think about it. Oh yeah, that's true. I am a relator. Now I should use it in my way.
Exactly. And that's, one of the things is with strengths, even for me, like today, there was a, an opportunity. I'm not going to call it a problem, an opportunity that came up
Okay.
this morning. And
Okay.
it was an opportunity for me to grow. And I thought, which strength do I need to get me through this? And I didn't always think that way. When you become a coach, you start to think like that. And then you're hanging around with me. So you're thinking, right? So, and then also, I had to go to the doctor this morning. And when I came back, I was thinking, okay, Jane, you are in force right now. You are an ego and you are in defense and you are in pride and guilt and doubt and assumptions. What will it take to you to get to your strength? And I had to really coach myself on
Oh God.
what are the facts, not giving too much information, not apologizing, not apologizing. We often, when we go into defense, or I often, you either get angry in defense
Hmm.
or you all of a sudden are apologizing.
Hmm.
My mindset today on November 20th, 2024, with some growth is to acknowledge it, to move
Right.
on, and
Right.
to come up with what the solution is. And
Absolutely.
it may not be something that everybody is happy with. However, it's what works best for the situation at hand.
That's the best thing to do, Jane. I'll just love that. When you were saying that I had to coach myself, so every person, when they realize their top five strengths, it becomes easy to self talk as well. So
Yeah.
this is a tool that helps you in positive self talk, right?
Yeah.
That is so transparent. You have your tool.
Yep.
You just have to be transparent with yourself
Yeah.
and
And we even,
understand whether or not you are at your power or force.
yeah. And that's why we always say that when you're doing strengths, it's not a one and done. It's not you learn it and then it's over. It's a
Right.
daily thing. It's looking at things daily and then looking at what are your goals and how do you what strength do you need in
Mm,
your 34 that's going to get you to where you need. And by the way, if it's in your bottom 34, who's going to support you with that?
okay.
Because there are things that you and I know, and we work with Jayesh, and he is our process tech guy, and that's his strength. And we
Yes.
know that we have other strengths, yet we got to
Right.
call on
That's why we are
Jayesh.
a team, right?
Yes, that's why we have a team. And that's what's important for small businesses to realize that you
Right.
can't do it all on your own. There has to be people in your life that fill the gaps of the strengths that you don't have, or they have to complement or even add to the strengths that you have. Like you and I, we both have communication. That makes we have an easy relationship because we both know how to communicate to each other.
Love that, Jane. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think I strongly recommend everybody once in their lifetime. I'm saying once because every 2 to 3 years you should again take your Clifton strengths, because knowing your strengths would improve your strengths, right? Who
Yeah.
knows, the top 34, the bottom 34 strengths would come to your top 5. So at least once we should take, every individual should take, must take the Clifton Strengths assessment, because it helps you realize your strengths and helps you lead your team effectively.
Yeah. And what we say about strengths and taking the assessment is if you have major life changes, that's when you'd want to take it again. What we've found and what the research has shown is usually they don't change that much in the top 10. They may move down or up within the top 10, but it's
Okay.
very rare that something from 34 is going to end up in your top 10 unless you have had
Oh,
a major shift in your life, major job change, major personal life shift. So
right.
for a lot of people, their top 10 are their it's what you're born with. It's literally what you're born with. It's your
Wow.
2020 vision. And then it may go over time. And then 11 to the 20s, you need glasses. You need the tools to get you through.
Right.
And then
Right.
30, 34 are when you feel like you have sand in your eyes. Like if you ask me to do Excel, that's when I have sand in my eyes, right? So I know to find the
Love
people
that.
that do that well. So, um, what we are looking at is finding a way to offer hope, holding on to positive energy by looking at your strengths versus focusing on your weaknesses. Being able to, in times of uncertainty or challenges, figuring out what your strengths and your hope are. So, with that, really, that's what we have to say today. That we are all about um, knowing what our strengths are and being able to offer hope to ourselves and to others.
Love that, Jane. I love today's conversation, and I hope everybody who hears us live would want to share about, who want to know about, become curious about knowing their Clifton strengths.
Yep.
Please leave a comment for us or send us a message if you want to know your top 5 strengths.
Yes. Jane@janestorm.com. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. Next week, we go on Zoom. So we'll be sending out a message. But if you want to join us,
Ooh,
go to
that would be
janestorm.com,
exciting.
sign up,
Yeah.
and be part of our Hope Activator community.